Here's how we made these 7 independence videos in less than 2 weeks. Zambia is turning 60, and at Lupiya we have to brainstorm, script, plan, shoot, edit, who, where, when, and align with people's busy schedules. Let me just say everything from pre-production to post-production. So I sat down with Nancy and Eddie in order for us to discuss what we were going to do for independence. But before we brainstormed anything, we needed to keep in mind this year's independence theme, which is Zambia at 60, honoring our heritage, embracing the future. With this being our foundation, we also had to come up with the style of the videos, who was going to be in the videos, when and where to shoot from, and the many other details. When it came to the style of the videos, we didn't want it to be all serious and all corporate and asking boring questions. We had to strike a balance. We wanted it to be light, more of an interaction, like when your co-worker walks into your office and starts a conversation.
Hi Linda. Hi Chanda. Hi Emmanuel. Hi Spirit. Hi Chisala.
For example, we asked Linda, who works in finance,
if Zambia's economy had a theme song, what would it be?
or Emmanuel, who we asked,
What's the most creative way you've explained compliance to make it actually interesting?
This was all intentional, and you could see how excited they were to answer these questions.
Oh my god, I'm going to say your moms because I love your moms, but you know what, let me be serious.
Or made them think.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Good question.
This was all to avoid camera anxiety. So camera anxiety is similar to stage fright, and it happens when people feel self-conscious or anxious in front of the camera, causing them to forget their lines, or awarely self-aware. What was I supposed to say? Or become overly aware of themselves. That's why we set it up to make them feel like they were just having a casual conversation, making them feel more relaxed and natural. Secondly, we made them focus on Nancy, who was speaking in the background, and not on me, or technically the camera that I was holding. Yeah. To make it even more casual, I made sure I shot handheld, which just means I didn't use a tripod stand or a stabilizer. This was to make it look more spontaneous and dynamic.
Hi Muchu, how are you?
Hi Nancy, how are you doing?
Great.
The choice of the music also played a very big role. I didn't want the music to be the cliche corporate music playing in the background, like most of the corporate videos that I see. Oh my god. Anyway, I just don't prefer that type of music because it's just too common, and I think it annoys most of the people. That's why I went with something modern with an African vibe to it. And to ensure I didn't bore you, the audience, I didn't use the same background music throughout each of these videos, but I used different background songs depending on the context of the question that was being answered. This was to emphasize the emotion each person wanted to convey. For example, when Evelyn was asked to take us back to 2016, when Lupiya just started, this was an emotional moment. So I simply put inspiring music in the background.
And now, take us back to 2016. What was the first week of Lupiya like?
Ooh. I'd probably always say excited, optimistic, but doing it very scared because at that point you have this bold, big ambitions of...
You also notice when Emmanuel was asked,
what's the most creative way you've explained compliance to make it actually interesting?
the answer is a romantic one. So you notice I changed the music from the upbeat African vibe to something romantic.
Let's put it this way. Compliance is like chasing the love of your life.
Ooh, why do you say so?
Because...
Well, he's also taking us through this feel-good moment. He reaches a part where he says something heartbreaking. And at this point, you will notice how I cut the music off immediately.
If you operate outside of them, most likely you will lose your lover or lose your business in the compliance sense.
That was definitely one of my favorite parts of the video. When it was time to shoot, we faced the challenge because Muchu and Evelyn were traveling outside of the country, and so we only managed to shoot their parts a day before independence. Secondly, the other plan was to combine all the 7 interviews into one, which was going to make the duration about 20 minutes. Well, that obviously wasn't gonna work, and most people were not going to watch the entire thing. I mean, we're living in the age of doom scrolling. So that meant that we had to go for the second option. Post the videos individually and add an intro to each one of them. But wait, we're not going to make them all have the same intro because people will think it's the same video that they watched the previous day. That's when we thought, how about we make the intros about the similarities in the journeys of both Zambia and Lupiya. But we faced another challenge. How are we going to visually represent these intros since we had already done the shooting? So we decided to go for the voiceovers for the intros and some motion graphics combined with historical pictures of both Zambia and Lupiya. But again, we hit another blocker. Who was going to do the voiceovers? We were running out of time, so it was not possible to start looking for a person to do the voiceovers for us. And then there was a light bulb moment. Our answer was Tishala. I mean, we all hear her voice in the office and how she speaks so well and articulately. I believe she could do it even though she had never done voiceover work before. She wasn't into the idea at first, but good news, we managed to convince her and she did the recording in less than 20 minutes. After all that was sorted out, it was now time for me to start editing the videos. By the time I started editing, I had already gotten into the deadline, unfortunately. This meant that each day I had to edit 1 or 2 videos to be posted on each particular day. Independence was fast approaching, and so I had no option but to work long hours, sleepless nights, lots of coffee, share notes with Eddie who was also up at night. But at last, we eventually managed to edit all the videos and have them go out on Independence Day. And I guess it was a happy Independence, Zed at 60. I guess the lesson I learned is that planning is very important, and not just planning on the surface. You have to go into all the details when you're planning, and that you have to have a plan B in case things don't work out. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you want to watch all the full videos, you can search for Lupiya on all social media platforms and you'll be able to watch all the full videos. That's all in today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. And I'll see you in the next one.